Did you see Redfin's predictions for 2024? We're going to go through them right now, and I'm going to give you my personal opinion if I agree with it or if I disagree with it. And I want to know yours. So make sure you leave in the comments below. Let me know. Maybe you agree with 1, 3, and 5, but not agree with 2, 4, and 6. So give me your feedback. Let me know if you agree with it or disagree and why. And I'm going to put a link to the full article in the description as well. So Redfin's predictions for 2024. Prediction number 1, home prices will fall 1%. Prices will fall 1% year over year in the second and third quarters, marking the first time they have declined since 2012. Now, I actually disagree with this one. I do not think home prices are going to decline because we are still in a housing shortage. Yes, builders are building, but they are not building fast enough to keep up with demand, let alone hit some of that backlog that we need to get. So I do not think that that's going to happen because as interest rates continue to come down, it just brings these buyers that are sitting on the sidelines back into the market. And we all know when you have all these buyers in the market, what happens, right? You're competing against the offers. Prices are going up and up. I just disagree with this. And on top of it, Case-Shiller, which is our gold standard for home appreciation in the US, we are up 4.8% year over year right now, almost 5% up. So I just don't see how home prices are going to fall. So that's my prediction. I disagree with number 1. Prediction number 2, new listings will tick up. Home prices will fall because supply will rise more than demand. All right, I'm going to break this into 2 because I agree with the headline prediction of new listings will tick up, but I disagree with the comments under it that home prices will fall because supply will rise more than demand. I don't think supply is going to rise higher than demand. I do think that listings are going to tick up though, because as rates come down, people are going to feel more comfortable putting their house on the market and entering into a new mortgage at what is probably a higher rate than what they're locked into now, but it's not 8% anymore. So I agree with the headline, but not the description under it. Prediction number 3, home sales will increase and end the year up 5%. In the first quarter, existing home sales will be on pace for 4.1 million total in 2024. Up from an annual pace of 3.85 million in the fourth quarter of 2023. And it goes on to say that we will be on pace for 4.5 million by the fourth quarter, and home sales will speed up throughout 2024 as affordability improves and more homes hit the market. So I do agree that as affordability improves, so as interest rates continue to come down, that's going to help affordability improve. Yes, I do believe more homes will be put in the market, more sales will happen. I don't know the actual numbers. I'm not, an economist to know how many millions of houses are going to be sold. But I do think that we are going to see home sales increase in 2024 compared to 2023. Prediction number 4, mortgage rates will steadily decline but remain above 6%. We predict the average 30-year mortgage rate will linger at 7% for the first quarter, then decline throughout the year. Mortgage rates will fall to about 6.6% by the end of 2024. So I do agree with this one because first off, rates always come down a lot slower than they go up, right? Lenders are much quicker to reprice for the worse than to reprice for the better. So I do agree with that. Yes, rates have already fallen some, and I do believe they are going to continue to fall. I don't know exactly how far. You can already get a rate into the mid-6s if you pay a point right now for most people. So I do think that they are going to come down. I do agree, though. I don't think that you may see the 5s in 2024, the high 5s, but I don't, there's some headlines I've seen that we're going to hit 5% in 90 days. I do not agree with that. I think it's going to take a little bit longer for everything to continue coming down. Prediction 5, change will come to the real estate industry. For the first time in Redfin's nearly 20-year history, our agents reported widespread discounting among our competitors in 2023. If not, the fee publicly offered to the buyer's agent, then in commissions refunded or private listing agreements. Okay, so this one's a big topic in our industry right now. I forget what year it was. I want to say 2010, but don't hold me to that. The government came after loan officers and our commissions, and they revamped the way loan officers and lenders were paid. It completely changed our industry. Now they're going after real estate agents and their brokerages. So basically what the lawsuits are these days, it's saying that sellers were not adequately disclosed that when they were paying, let's say, a 6% commission, that 3% went to the listing side and 3% went to the buyer's side. Now, I don't know. I'm not an attorney. I didn't see all these contracts from all over the country. But I know in our area, it is. You sign a paper saying that up front. So I don't see how it's hidden, but that's what the lawsuits are. And they're suing NAR, National Association of Realtors. They're suing all the big guys, RE/MAX and Keller Williams, and all the big brokerages are being sued. And a lot of them are settling. Now, are they settling because they're afraid if they go to court, they're going to end up paying even more? Or are they settling because they're in the wrong? I don't know. Again, I'm not an attorney. Is it going to change the real estate industry? I do believe it's going to change the real estate industry to the fact that either the contracts are going to be worded differently or the buyer's agents are going to have to do a better job at explaining how they're paid, given their benefits to the sellers and to the buyers. So the problem is, and it was never supposed to be this way, a lot of buyer's agents said, well, use me to buy a house, I'm free, because the seller's paying me, not you. And yes, that's true, but the way it was advertised was not the way it was ever intended to be. Does the buyer's agent deserve to be paid? Absolutely. They do a lot of work, and a lot of work is done behind the scenes that people don't know about. So do I think that the real estate industry is going to change? Yes, I do think it's going to change. Is it going to be in 2024, 2025? I don't know. That's going to come down to all these lawsuits and what happens. I do think that realtors will still be getting paid. It's just, again, the wording of the contracts might change, or they're going to have to come up with being able to explain why they should be paid what they're paid when they're talking to their clients. So I do agree with prediction number 5. Prediction number 6, renting will lose its stigma. We're already seeing signs that young people are redefining the American dream. Nearly 1 in 5 millennials who responded to a 2023 housing survey believe they will never own a home. With prices so high, buying a home doesn't offer the same financial upside to a young millennial and Gen Zer as it did to the baby boomer and Gen Xer. Okay, people rent for all sorts of reasons, right? They might rent because they're a doctor and they make a little bit of money when they come out of med school, but over time and very quickly, their pay increases. So they might be renting at the beginning. People could be renting because of their credit situation and they aren't able to be approved, or they don't have the money for the down payment. So there's lots of reasons why people are renting. I will also say home prices historically have always increased with the exception of the housing crash in 2006, 7, and 8. So I do believe the American dream is still out there. And I do believe that it still makes sense for people to buy because if you look historically, real estate is one of the best assets to put your money into and have it grow better than the stock market. So, housing affordability is an issue right now. I'm not going to hide behind that. So it is definitely harder for the younger millennials and the Gen Zers to buy today compared to the Gen Xers and the boomers. But I do think it's still something that they will be able to do. I don't think that, it's that they're going to have to rent. Prediction number 7. Biden has a housing problem which could hurt his re-election bid. Home prices are up more than 20% since President Biden took office. That's a problem for his re-election bid. A recent poll found that 65% of voters disapproved of Biden's handling of the economy, with lack of housing affordability likely a major factor. All right, I'm not a political person. I don't go out there with political stuff. Whether you agree with Biden or not, that's up to you. But what I will say is this is not all Biden. The home prices rising more than 20% since he took office is not all Biden's fault. It goes back to 2006, 7, and 8 when the housing crash happened. So many builders were hurt during that time that they went out of business. And for 14 years after that, we did not build the average number of houses that we always had. We always built way below average. And because of that, we ate up all the extra supply that we had in the market from 2006, 7, 8. And then we went into the negative and we've never come back out. So it's been every president since has only made the housing industry not keep up with demand. So it's not just President Biden, it's everybody. Now, I will also do the caveat to that of his handling of the economy. I think most people agree that his overall handling of the economy has not been great, but I will just speak to the housing portion of it and how that goes back across multiple administrations, not just Biden's. So it's just he has seen those large increases because he had the pandemic that was going on and interest rates at all-time lows. And people are like, well, hey, if I'm going to work from home, I want a bigger house and I can do it. And I can go pay a little bit above asking or a lot above asking because the rates are so low. So yeah, I don't know if it's going to hurt his reelection bid or not. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I think that it's not entirely his fault. All right, now the last part here is not a prediction. They're just saying that there's more in store for 2024. Big price declines in coastal Florida, a wave of boomerang migration, local governments enacting policies to improve housing affordability. So they're saying prices will fall in a lot of metros and also rise in some others. Well, yeah, that happens all the time. People will decide where to live based off of in-office policies, climate risk, and affordability concerns. That is true because some people are working from home now, but we are also seeing more and more and more companies call their people back to the office. You know, they're paying for this commercial office space. They want people in it, even if it's 2 days a week or 3 days a week. So I think you're going to see more and more companies continue to call people back to the office. And that's also going to affect this. Local governments will focus on housing affordability. I do think that is true. More homeowners will use their home as ATMs, pulling out cash to cover credit card debt and home renovations. And I 100% agree with that. We're already seeing it. You know, credit card debt is well over $1 trillion now, highest ever. And yeah, there's more equity ever in the home. So yes, we are doing refis, pulling out that cash from the home, paying off these credit cards, their home renovations, the student loans, the car loans, all these high interest items, and redoing that mortgage. And it's putting them in a better cash flow situation. It's helping them save money monthly and over time. So it definitely makes sense for a lot of people to do that refi, even if they're going from a 2 or 3% rate to a 6 or 7% rate. And I love this last part. All right, are you ready? Our predictions are set against a backdrop of economic uncertainty. Our outlook could change due to the uncertainty in these areas: financial markets volatility, of course, the war in Europe and the Middle East, and the U.S. presidential election. Seriously? Of course. That's just Redfin saying, we have no idea what's going to happen in 2024, and we're going to cover our butts. So, yeah, good job, Redfin. So let me know your predictions. Give them to me in the comments. Do you agree with these? Do you disagree? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I want to hear your feedback.